for you on this rather sunny day, I have to say. It's how to prepare your team for reopening. The session is supported by Wella Professionals. Do check out the education.wella.com website in the comments, as well as has lots of guides available for you for more information about reopening your salon. And this morning we are thrilled to have salon owner David Thomas with us, who has some great ideas and insights into how he's prepping his team for reopening. And I can see we've already got somebody saying good morning to us. So hello there. Hello there, David Thomas. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good morning, Laurie. Yeah, really good, thank you. Excited to share a few ideas and also hear some ideas if anybody's got some for our return, whenever that is.
Definitely. So please do feel free to share your questions with us, but equally share your comments with us. There might be things that you're doing differently that you might want to share with others, and we want this to be an informative session for everyone, brainstorm ideas, etc. But to kick off, David, shall we maybe talk about what you've been doing so far with your team to start prepping them for that reopening process? We've had a chat already, and I know you've already been doing quite a few amazing things with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the views that we took early on, my wife's got a salon as well, was we didn't want to bombard the team with loads of training and personal development. It's a unique time, and on the positive side, it's a good time to let everybody kind of rest and recoup and enjoy the sunshine we've having. However, what we've been doing is we've been preparing PPE for quite a while, and as we go along, we kind of keep the team informed. And I'll go into the salon and we'll do videos and show the team what's happening, how it looks, the slight changes and stuff like that, so that it's not going to be too much of a shock, because it will be a change when we go back. Yeah, so we're kind of keeping informed of all the stuff all the time. I mean, taking videos of yourself with a mask on and stuff like that, just showing them what's happening,
Definitely. And one of the things you were telling me, David, which I thought was brilliant, is obviously you're doing visits to the salon and starting in your preparations for getting it ready. But the fact that you're actually you want to tell us about the films that you're putting together and sharing with the team?
Well, one of the things, again, I took the view with Facebook, we don't have online sales and stuff. So my thing was that anything we do on Facebook was really just saying, hi, how are you? This is what we're doing for you as clients. And reaching out really and spreading the love, spreading the word, and just kind of telling them that we will be back. And it's the same with the team. It's taking small videos in the salon and walking around, showing them the acrylic screens that are up at reception, showing them how we've moved stuff around, so that, again, as I said, they got a real-time view of how the salon is looking. It doesn't look a lot different, and it's just making sure that, because the important thing is that the team are confident with what we've got in place for when they get back. They're not nervous. I don't want them to be nervous at home. There's nothing to be nervous about. It's just going to be slightly different.
Definitely. And do you want to maybe talk us through some of the physical changes and things you have been doing in the salon that you're then filming and sharing with the team?
I mean, I think we haven't had any guidelines as such yet, but we're going to supply the team with face masks. We've been lucky enough to find like a hand station that will automatically put a hand cleanser on, which actually stays on your hands for 3 hours. So unless we're told we've got to wear gloves, we don't need to wear gloves. Do you know what I mean? And also that will be for the client and for the team to use as they come into the salon and at any point they want throughout the salon visit. So if we've got something that's on that keeps the hands virus-free for 3 hours, really the environment all of a sudden becomes a lot safer place, doesn't it? We've also got screens on the reception, so that's great. We've got screens on the manicure desks, and we've also put everything in different places so that all the cleaning materials in one place, all the bin bags are in another place, all the tin is always in the same place anyway, but to try and create an area that you go around the salon and you're kind of in a nice circle so you're not bumping into each other. So, we've got a lot of stuff in place. Yeah.
Brilliant. Your screen is just going a little bit fuzzy there, David. So if you kind of just stay as still as possible, that should probably keep the screen as clear as possible for everyone.
Yeah.
I know that's fantastic. And a few people have asked actually. So Claire Etienne, I hope I'm saying that right, has asked, where did you get the hand station from?
I'm all right saying the company on it. It's initial cleaning. We've used them in the past for towels and stuff, but it's initial. And we're actually going to lease it so that it's over a 2-year period. So you've got it in there forever. We're told that the next product that they put in, they maintain it for you. The cleanser will last for 12 hours on your hands and on surfaces. So you can use it for surface cleaning as well.
Brilliant.
So it's initial.
Fantastic. And then Susan Hackett said, are you using disposable gowns and towels?
No, we're lucky that we've got eco towels, so they wash and dry really quickly. We've got loads and loads of gowns, and we've got an on-site laundry, so everything will be used once and then put straight into the washer. So we will have a backup of disposable gowns, but we've not really concerned that we're going to run out.
Fantastic. And then Laura Treble has just asked again, what is the sanitizer that lasts for 3 hours? What was the name of it again, David?
It's Initial, the cleaning company. Initial, yeah. And they maintain the hand sanitizing unit for you and everything, refill it, etc. If anything goes wrong, they repair it or replace.
Fantastic. And when did you sort of start putting these, changing the format and the layout of your salon? Have you sort of been doing this gradually?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we were quite lucky, Laura. We moved salons in October from the city centre to the outskirts, so we had a big opportunity to ditch stuff. But again, once we went on hold on the 23rd of March, we started to again have a really good clear out and a clean. And once we'd done that, then we started to source our PPE, which we've got hundreds of rubber gloves, etc. So we started quite early, and I think it's important that if you haven't got PPE equipment in place, start looking now. Don't leave it. Get stuff in place. Yeah, get stuff
definitely.
in place.
And then exactly, being prepared, that's the key thing, isn't it? And Juliet has said, do Initial cater for small ones as she works on her own? I'm guessing they would cater for whoever wants to do an order. Of course.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Here's an interesting one, and I have to say, not something I've personally thought about myself. Debbie said, will you be doing anything for sterilising footwear?
No. I hadn't thought about that one. No, it's a good question though. But
it's a good question.
I don't think my feet will be going near anybody's face though.
No, exactly. I think we should be all right with that. The floor is kept as clean as possible.
We have a plan that the floor will be mopped, 3 or 4 times a day. We've got a cleaning rota in place, so yeah, we will mop the floor regularly throughout the day, mop and dry it. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So if we go back to, obviously this session is kind of around making sure that the team is all prepped and ready.
Yeah.
How are you encouraging engagement with your team early on about the plans and making sure that everyone does feel comfortable and confident and ready for when salons do reopen?
I mean, we're in touch all the time. And again, I think we were talking before, Laura, when we first put the business on hold, our WhatsApp group was really busy with crazy stuff and missing you and funny jokes, but that's all calmed down. But that's what I wanted, really. I wanted them time to have time off, get a little bit fitter, look after themselves, see the families and stuff. But moving forward now, any documents I have, I ask them, first of all, are they all right to receive it? Because I don't want to send them stuff and, them get bothered. So any documents we have with PP and the plans and seeing it from in the future, I send them on a message, and then I ask for the feedback. And we do get quite a bit of feedback, but very often they'll say, yeah, they're quite happy with it. And I think that's the thing, is being open with the plan and also encouraging them to say, oh, I'm not so sure about that, or what about this, or, and taking that on board and then adjusting things, because we have the time,
Definitely. Yeah. And one of your other amazing ideas, which I think is ingenious, and I'd love for you to talk the reopening date itself.
Yeah, so whenever that opening date is, because again, we can't say that it's going to be the 4th of July. And I think I told you a story, Laura, didn't I, about a guy who was a senior officer in Vietnam who was captured, and he was asked who were the people that didn't survive, and basically it was the people who were the optimists, because they thought that they would be home for Christmas Day. And Christmas Day for years and years didn't happen. And I think it's like us, what we've got to be prepared for is that we are not going to open before the 4th of July, but they're not saying that we will open on the 4th of July also. So I think we've just got to kind of go with it and be prepared. So for me, what will happen is if we get the go ahead to open on the 4th, we will probably have the 4th off, and we will use that as a training day for the team. So all the team will come into the salon, and we'll do each other's hair so that they look great again for the opening, but also it gives us an opportunity to actually work the salon really as it's going to be. So almost like a football training session, in things are different. When we moved salons, it was the same equipment in a different environment with the same team, and it was really bizarre. You know, everything was in a different place. So again, for me, it's change, and it's getting the team in and working with it, working with the masks on, you know, making sure that when they take the gown off, it was straight in the washing machine, showing them where everything is. So it's like a real environment, and it's like a cold run, really, that we're ready then for the day after when we open, you know. So important.
Brilliant idea. So you'll have members of the team that will act as clients, and they'll be sat behind the chair having their colour done, their cut done. And then you have other members of the team doing the hair, so they'll both get to experience it on both sides.
And they'll be experiencing from the client side and from the stylist side, definitely. One of the things I thought about over the weekend was I didn't even know whether we should be taking masks around to the houses in the next few weeks and getting them to wear a mask for a few hours, just so that they're used to the feeling of a mask, you know.
Yeah. Because that will be strange,
and a visor if we need it, you know.
Definitely. So getting that kit out to them early so they can start wearing it and getting their skin and their face prepared for it, so it doesn't come as a complete shock.
I know. Imagine taking the mask off and your lipstick underneath.
Yeah,
not that I've got that problem.
This is true, but testing out what lip colour works.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. It's all useful to do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that's genius. Brilliant idea. We're getting loads of questions through, David.
Okay.
But before we start delving too far into all of the questions, I also wanted to tap into what we were chatting about before about opening times and how you might well be, in order to accommodate the different appointment slots that you will have available on reopening, how you're planning to adjust the opening hours of your salons.
I think it's remembering that the one thing that we have got is time is free, and we've got to look at it very differently. I've spoken to all the team, and they're quite happy to do whatever, because we've got people that have worked in the team for 20 odd years. They've got young families, so we will definitely be opening 7 days a week. And you don't normally, do you? No, we don't.
And just to clarify,
no, we don't.
No, you don't. Previously, you never opened on Sundays.
But I think, you know, people are going to be back to work. Sundays, if they're off, then they'll quite happily come in on a Sunday. So again, we will definitely open Sundays. And also, I think Sundays, people think that Sunday perhaps only starts 10 till 4. But small businesses by law are allowed to open whatever hours they want. So if we open at 7 o'clock and we've got a demand for it, we'll open at 7 in the morning and we'll stay up until 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, you know, until we get through hopefully the backlog of clients that are going to be desperate for us to cut their hair. And also my priority is giving the team the hours that they need as well. So if we open longer hours, we can give them the hours that they need to survive, really, as well, because you've got to think about that. You know, it might be that we've got half the team in and half the team off. In that case, we do need to open early and we do need to close late. So it's just being flexible short term with that. And again, it's making sure that your team are happy. I ask them constantly, are you all right with the hours? Because once we know what we can do, we can then plan the roster. We've got an idea, but we don't know exactly. But we will definitely be open Sundays. Definitely.
So getting that across to the team early as well as your clients early, I guess that's all crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for us, we'll be putting I'll put videos on. I put them on the group WhatsApp for the team. I will put them on Facebook and Instagram. I'll put them on the website, and we put them on Google as well, because I think talking to people rather than just a text or a picture, you know, it's like, now it's not perfect, the presentation, but it's just showing who you are. And people love the fact that you care and that you're bothered. I get responses all the time from videos because you're telling them what's going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely, completely. No, and I think keeping in the loop is crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know,
we're getting a lot of questions in, David, so I might just start whizzing through them if that's all right, because we are running out of time.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people asking questions. So we've had a question from James Alvey. He said his biggest concern isn't so much PPE now, and he thinks it will be attainable, but by staggering staff shifts and the limitations on numbers of clients, that will undoubtedly reduce income and in turn staff wages.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I actually think that clients will expect and will have to accept that there will be an increase in our prices, because, you know, at the end of the day, we do what we love, but we are a business, and PPE is certainly a cost. And also, we've always charged short and long appointments. Now, that doesn't mean short hair and long hair. It means the appointment is a shorter appointment or a longer appointment. And we're going to have to, as an industry, all do the same thing and stay together and go, you know what, we are going to have to charge a bit more to cover the costs. You know, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Definitely.
And I think that's where going back too soon would be a mistake for the business. If the later we go back, hopefully the less restrictions there will be on the kind of PPE and the spacing and social distancing that there may be when we do go back as well, I think.
Fantastic. And we've had a couple of questions, so I'll just group them together, about clients' personal belongings, handbags, whether or not they'll be allowed to bring multiple belongings or one handbag, or how that's going to work, storage of belongings, that kind of thing. Have you thought about that for your salon?
I think we will have a set pattern so that the clients will only be able to make an appointment by phone. And the reason is that we want to make sure that the clients know what's expected. We would ideally like them to leave the coats and only bring a small handbag with them. If they do bring a coat, then they'll be expected to hang it up and then pick a gown up as well. So they'll do that themselves. We're fortunate we've got that space to do that. With the team, I don't want them bringing any personal belongings other than a small handbag, and that will be stored in one place. So everything's kind of nice and compact. Again, I'll be encouraging the team. We've got a car park at the back of the salon. Really, ideally, to have the lunch in the car. And again, they're all happy with that, because at the end of the day, our priority is the safety of everybody. And it's short term, isn't it? You know, it really is short term. So yeah, as little as possible, I think, in the salon.
Definitely. Are you, in terms of treatments, are you adjusting your menu? Are you going to allow blow dries, or are you going to stop them temporarily?
No,
there's a few people asking about that.
No, if we're allowed, then we'll be doing the whole thing. Because I think you've got to remember, whilst people want a haircut and a colour, you know what we are more than anything? We're the lifesavers, aren't we? We're the people that can give them some fun and give them some relief. That's what we've always been. It's about an experience. So, you know, we've got to try and work these things out so that people have got a lovely experience when they come. And again, I'd rather not go back than be doing half-hot hairdos. And, you know, it's a fun industry, isn't it? That's what we're about, making people look great, priority, but also feel like they've escaped, you know.
Definitely. I think people are just desperate to sit back in this chair at the salon now.
Yeah, so the answer is we'll be doing everything we can, all the services and stuff we can, definitely.
We've got a few people asking about dates of salon reopening in different parts of the country. Obviously, we're none the wiser than you are, so we just have to follow the guidance on that.
Exactly.
Rosanna has said, hi, the government says salon's not going to be open on the 15th of June. Yeah, we know that at the moment, 4th of July is the earliest.
Yeah.
Sarah Bradley has said, you see salons opening in Northern Ireland. Again, I think that's just going to be keeping an eye out for the news. And
and don't live too much in hope that it's going to be that date, but it's definitely not going to be more the 4th of July, is it?
Mm-hmm. And we've got someone here saying, how are you booking your appointments? Anne-Marie has over 200 people waiting for an appointment. Do you plan to prioritise colours over cuts, for instance, or how are you managing your appointments, bookings?
I've asked all the team for a priority list of clients who they want to prioritise, just on feeling rather than a business side, because I only cut, I don't colour. And then we've got other members of the team that cut and colour. So it will be on the people who really have been supporting us for a long time. And I think that's the only way you can do it. Get a list of priority clients from all of your team and then just go with it. You can't plan to overthink it too much, I don't think, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people that were booked in when we closed will be the priority, obviously, that week, and then we'll take it from there. And then
I guess they've been waiting the longest, haven't they?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
And do you envisage only having one person at the backwash at a time? In terms
we've got
a
reasonable sized backwash area, so we'll be able to have 2 people at the backwash with a reasonable space between, a couple of metre space. So we'll be able to shampoo 2 at a time. And my idea is we've bought some of the old-fashioned type lacquer shields, so people will be able to take the mask off and put a lacquer shield to the face and hold it over the mouth and nose. So that will easily cover that while they're being shampooed, but also it won't restrict us from shampooing colour off behind the ears and stuff. I think they're a real, good little piece of equipment, and also ideal if you want to cut anything around people's faces or fringes and stuff like that. So they could take the mask off and then use the lacquer shield, and then they get a really good wash after.
I'm sure we'll have people asking in no time at all where you found the lacquer shields from.
I just found them from our local wholesaler. People still do stock them quite a lot, and they're not expensive. So we bought 20 of them, and we'll just wash them because, again, the coronavirus is powerful in the body, but it's very easy to clean off a hard surface with warm water and just normal washing up liquid. And a really good wash will get rid of any virus, and we'll rotate them as well.
And will you be supplying clients with individual masks or asking them to bring their own?
Laura will be definitely asking them to bring their own. Again, in the spiel we'll give them on the phone, but we have bought masks as well because it was my wife's great idea, really, because if people turn up without a mask and then you can't do the hair, it's a lost appointment. So it was Paula's idea. We have some for clients, but they are to buy, because again, it's a cost to the business. So we will have them to buy if the clients want them.
Perfect. And do you think, this one was from Richard, how much do you think we should charge on top for all of the extra PPE? Are you planning to charge extra for all of the extra PPE that will be?
Well, I think you've got to look at your costs and look at it at detail, and work out how much really is your PPE per person costing. And I think that's just to sit down and have a look at it. But then I think as far as the biggest expense is the time and making sure that people know, when they're booking, it is going to be a longer appointment and there will be a bit more of a charge. And that can be in line with your charging as it is. So a short appointment or a long appointment, long foils or short foils. But I think you've got to just charge for your time. And then, it might be a couple of pounds per head for PPE. It might not be that much. But I think you've got to look at the detail. Does that help?
Definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. James Alfrey said initially he won't be offering time-consuming treatments. Some keratin treatments take up to 4 hours, but apart from those, he hopes to offer as much as possible.
Yeah.
And as a positive, we can learn from how other countries are dealing with it, which is a good point, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think we will definitely be avoiding any keratin treatments. They're too long and tedious, aren't they? Yeah. But the rest of the thing, I think, is definitely we can get back to it.
Perfect. And Claire Donnelly has said we will have a high percentage of clients all wanting a booking on the 4th of July. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? Is that when that initial first reopening is going to get a bit crazy, isn't it? So having that plan in place for who to prioritise and
I think it's having that priority list of clients and then giving them, and then just I think we're just going to have to get on the phone and call people. Yeah, that's what we'll do initially. Hopefully we'll have a few days notice to this as well, so we can get on the phones before the 4th of July, can't we?
And I guess this is where the working with the team is going to be crucial, isn't it? Because you've got to make sure the whole team is on board with this is how we're prioritizing people. We all have to stick to it.
Yeah.
You can't have someone messaging you on Instagram saying, can you squeeze me in? You know?
No, I think it's realizing there's one channel to book an appointment, that'll be the phone. Again, we're lucky we've got 2 phones. So once the phone's open, we can get on 2 phones and we can start to take appointments. But I think, by having too many things, online booking and the phone call and Instagram, etc., you've got to narrow it down and say it's going to be one channel, and that's where we're going to take the bookings, however that is. Because you'll upset people, and we don't want that, do we?
No, exactly, definitely. So is that a conversation you're having with your team early and explaining this is how we're booking it?
Yeah, we've told them, again, you've got to understand in these times, the team, this is how we're going to do things, and are you happy for us to make those decisions? And they are happy for the roster to be as we need it to be, prioritising client. They're all happy with us on that, because we've one intention: to get the business back safely, efficiently, as fast as we can. That's the objective.
Definitely. Someone has said that they've disabled all online bookings, which sounds like a very good idea.
I think so. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. You'd have chaos, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Not enough time booked or too much time booked. It's all about, making sure it's efficiently booked, isn't it? Because I think it's going to be about not just about time, but seating as well. It's almost like booking a table, isn't it?
Definitely. And are you planning to do virtual consultations to save any time? No.
Because that takes time, Laura. So for me, we haven't got time to do virtual and then do the hair. So we'll be quicker doing a consultation.
Right. But it will be in the salon on the day.
From behind. And when we do the colour skin test, we have iPads to do that, but we've already, prior to the lockdown, we were getting the stylist to sign on behalf of the client if the client approves. So that can be done as well. So there's little handling with the iPad.
Brilliant. And someone Juliet Hunt has said, are you splitting your teams to half the possible infection risk? Are you planning to do split team shifts?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, one thing we've talked about recently, Paul and I, is whether we should have the same team and doing the same shifts. But I don't know how that's going to work. I need to think about that this week, because that's one option as well, But yeah, we'll definitely be splitting the teams. Just give everywhere a bit more space. And again, less stressful, less stressful for everybody, isn't it?
Definitely. Someone's asking about cash payments. Are you going to allow any cash payments?
No, we will just take debit or credit cards, definitely. And then the machine will be sanitised after every use, which is, again, easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And skin testing, what's your plans for skin testing?
Well, skin testing has always been something we're very big on, but the way we do it is with Wella's guidance. And again, we get everybody to sign when they come in, because obviously if they've had a colour 6 weeks prior and then you check that everything's all right, that is a skin test in itself. But again, what I was saying was the iPad that we use with the software, we will have the stylist sign on behalf of the client with their approval. So again, avoiding contact with the iPad.
Will you be skin testing everyone post lockdown before colouring them again?
Yeah, definitely. It's not a we can't take any risks, can we?
Yeah. So I guess that will be a lengthy process that will take a bit of planning.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that our receptionist is really good with that sort of stuff. So again, it's just about being organised and having stuff ready. Maybe having your tint behind reception so that it can be mixed up very quickly and easily and put on if you need to do that. But we will definitely be skin testing, yeah, definitely.
Perfect. And a few people have asked about walk-in appointments. Will you be having any walk-ins?
No. I mean, if the salon is really, really, really quiet, then obviously you'd consider it. But I don't think the salon's going to be really, really quiet. So it's not something we'll be encouraging. And also, we won't really be encouraging any dry haircuts of any shape or size,
Right,
it will be all shampooed haircuts, definitely.
Brilliant. We're getting so many questions, David, and we are running out of time, I have to say. I mean, there is. I mean, I have to say there is a lot of guidance in terms of the reopening of salons and the PPE and the hygiene. All of the main hair industry organisations, including HJ, actually, we've put together some
Yeah,
guidelines as well. There's a lot of guidelines available. Do check out HJI's website, because we've got a list of all of the different guidelines that are out there that you can look at, and you can kind of put them all together and take the bits that you think will work for
yeah.
your salon or your freelance business.
I
But
think
this has
that's
been
a
a
really
great,
good point, Laura. I think
yeah,
you know, it's like Wella have been very good. They've even got checklists for you that, you know, you can download, and whilst you've got the time, adapt it to suit your team. Put your logos on to make it, you take ownership of that. And also, you've got to be thinking about risk assessment as well. And another point is to think about contacting your insurer before you go back to work to see how your cover is with this when we do return, because that's one of the questions we're actually waiting to hear about. But the thing is,
oh,
be
that's great.
prepared. And yeah, you think about your insurance, definitely,
Yeah,
because they've not been
fantastic.
overly supportive, have they?
No, yeah, you want to make sure that you've got that right cover in
Exactly,
place before opening
exactly,
those doors again and all the
exactly.
floodgates.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
kids' hair seems to be a popular one that we're getting asked about. Will you be allowing kids to come in with parents?
It's a challenge because we've got families that come into us, but you know, if they can behave and sit still, they're big enough and old enough to do that, and they're prepared to have their hair shampooed, then we will obviously consider it. But it's got to be within the safety guidelines that we feel that is safe for the team as well to be able to cope with. So
Yeah.
again, I think you've just got to take each client and think about it. You know.
And I guess if you had a household, if you had a family who had been all in the same house together, like a
Exactly.
mum, dad, 2 kids, then I guess you could have them in your salon
All together.
at socially distanced all
Yeah.
together, and
Absolutely,
that could
Laura.
be a quick win and tick them off
Absolutely.
without it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
the
a
mum
really
could
good.
have her. Yeah,
Yeah. It's a
so
good
that could
idea.
be a way of getting
Definitely.
around
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think there's so many questions. I don't think we're going to get through them all, because we are running out of time. Yeah, how long are your appointments going to be? Are you going to change the length of your appointments at all, David?
I think we will have to allow more time, but you know what? We work really quite well under pressure. So at the moment, I think we're just going to go with what we've got, and if we need to take a long appointment, then we will do, and it'll be charged for. You know, yeah, I'm not too concerned really at the moment. I might get a bit of a shock, but I think we work quite well, and so long as the salon isn't overcrowded with either stylists or clients, I think we can work it well. You know, and it's
Yeah,
just remembering if you get a little bit behind, 5 or 10 minutes behind, it doesn't matter in these circumstances, does it? Everybody's quite prepared for that. You know,
exactly. Be prepared to just
so long as they're not stood
take what it.
outside the salon in the rain waiting for their
No,
appointments.
exactly. Yeah. At least we're in the summer months, aren't we? So
Exactly. That's
hopefully it's.
exactly right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And we've had a few questions about toilets, toilets for clients and toilets for the team members.
Mm.
Is that something you're considering in terms of your planning for rearranging the salon or anything like that?
No, I don't think it is, because if we're all in the salon together, if somebody's infected, you don't want them in the salon, in the toilet, anywhere.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and you know, our salon toilet is very clean anyway, and it will remain that way, and it will be disinfected even more. But no, I don't think that's a problem at all. I think if we're all in it together, client and team, then we're all going to be sensible. That's the only way it can be. And if you don't trust a
yeah.
client coming in, then you don't have them in. If you think they're going to be chaos, just don't
That's
have them in
true.
the
Exactly.
salon. You know that
And
you
I guess
can't.
as you're doing all of the cleaning and the hygiene and processes between every appointment, and following all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, and I think you've got to have a roster for cleaning as well.
Yeah,
You know, the floor's done at a certain time. As I say, Weller have done quite a good checklist as well, which I'm sure can be shared somehow if anybody needs any help. Quite happy to share anything.
fantastic. And is that something you're speaking to the team early about as well, in the cleanliness side of it, that all of the team will
Yeah.
have to pitch in and take it in turn throughout
Yeah.
the day to
Today
keep
we've sent
everything super clean?
a document out, and I'm going to the salon after here, and I'll be sending the document out to everybody. But everybody will be responsible for their own hygiene and client hygiene. You know, that would be part of the to work training day. You know, yeah,
brilliant. And I
so
think that's great.
visible.
That is great. Definitely. And I think maybe and while we wrap up, because I think we are going to have to start wrapping up now, we've had so many questions, and I do apologize we haven't got through all of the questions. Should we wrap up? There's some of the key points that you've touched on, David, in terms of preparing your team for reopening. So they're going into the salon and filming the salon, I think, is a great idea.
It's keeping them prepared and showing them what's going on. And it's easy with your iPhone and a WhatsApp group. So film it and then send it to them. Reassure the team is a priority, and say, look, everything's going to be all right in the business and everything's going to be all right in safety. Show them the equipment that you've got. Invite them down. There's no reason why they can't come to the salon on a one-to-one socially spaced. You're allowed to do that now. And then they feel confident. Then they can add to anything. So again, send them lists of stuff that you're going to do and say, add to it, you know, change it and send it back, because we're all in this together, aren't we?
Definitely. And the inset day, I think, is brilliant as well. So having that kind of initial training day before you open your doors to any client, getting the team in and doing a fully functional day in the salon without any clients, just with the team.
A great scenario is if you've ever driven a car, it's so easy to drive a car, isn't it? But have you ever driven a racing car? Because if you get in a racing car and you put a crash helmet on inside a car, it changes the scenario completely. And that's how it's going to be. Once you get used to it, it's fine. And that's a priority. The team getting back, even if it costs you a day. Hopefully we'll be able to go back before, but preparation of the team is priority, you know. The chaos otherwise. And they'll feel great then and look great with the roots done.
Exactly. They'll have nice funny hair to show off.
Feeling good and looking good. Feeling good and looking good. That's what it's about. Definitely.
That's what fantastic. Well, I can see that, as I say, I do apologize because we've had so many questions on this, but it's been a truly fascinating, interesting, inspirational session, and hopefully lots of people have picked up some tips that they'll be able to implement into their salon as well. Do check out, this was a session supported by Wella Professionals. Do check out education.wella.com. They've got all of their COVID-19 essential guides. On HJ's website, we've got a list of all of the industry organisations' guides that have been throughout the UK hairdressing industry. So there's lots of insights and food for thought throughout those guides. So as David said, it's worth cherry picking what would work for your salon at this point in time. Do you have any final words there, David, before we wrap up?
Just be prepared and just keep going. You know, we're a group of crazy entrepreneurs, and the risk has always been the thing. And do you know what? It's a great opportunity for change. And also remember that those clients are going to have loads of hair. So let's give them a bloody change as well. Give them some wow factor. And remember, we're just more than hairdressers. We are their friend. They're part of our family, and we can help them. So yeah, go with it and keep going. We'll be fine. We will be fine.
We're all in it together, aren't we?
We are. And thanks, Laura, for the opportunity. It's great to speak to everybody. It really is.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for sharing all of your thoughts and comments with us and your questions. And we'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, good luck and take care, everyone. Bye.
Definitely.
Bye for now. Bye.